heaps of people were kind of like, that's a really cool idea. You should make a thing of it. So one day I sat down at home with a beer and I just sat there. I bought Dogecoin.com. That's a bit funny. And I slapped the Doge face onto a coin and just put it live. And I wake up the next day to heaps of retweets. And my co-founder, who's based up in Portland, had messaged me and said, hey, I found that you can change I forked the Bitcoin source code or the Litecoin source code, and you can change the font to Comic Sans. I'm like, ooh, okay, we got to do this. Like, that's hilarious.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin has now almost overtaken
all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you have invested $1,000 a year,
Everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Wednesday. How's everybody doing? What is the one thing, the one big thing that's going to cause Dogecoin to really take off? We're going to be talking about that. I mentioned it in my video earlier today. It's decision time, right? Decision time for Dogecoin and for you. What are you going to do? And I know some of you feeling a little concerned. Hopefully we can talk about that. Maybe ease some of those concerns. Look at the bigger picture. Some of you get a little too focused on the short term. Has Dogecoin gone down? Yeah, about 4% over the past 7 days. 4%. That's not much. It's not much at all. I mean, you buy and the price starts going up and you get all excited, but things don't always go up in the markets. They don't always go up. There are always pullbacks. And we're having a pullback now. So, as I said in my video earlier, you've got a decision to make. What are you going to do? Most of us are just holding and waiting for it to turn around. Some of us are buying on the dips, like I did. For those that don't know, that's my green circle there. I make it nice and big because I zoom out. And when I zoom out on the hourly, you can see that green circle. And I bought it 17.5 cents. Well, now its price is lower than 17.5 cents. That happens. And I said in my video earlier, that could happen. And it is happening because there is a bit of a sell-off, a little profit taking that's going on. Some of them are feeling a little more negative and think Dogecoin is going to drop. Big drop, but that could happen as well. But I was eyeing 17.5 cents as my buy price. I had a limit order set, and last night it came down and it grabbed that limit order. So I've got more Dogecoin now. And from there, it's not down that much. So I'm not worried about it. And even if the price of Dogecoin did go down further, I am so confident in this longer period outlook on Doge that I'm not worried. I'm not worried. And we were also looking at Bitcoin, and we had this Bitcoin price of 65K because it came down and it hit it twice here yesterday, earlier in the morning and then around noon. And then last night, that's what Bitcoin came down and it hit, was 65K. Now, Bitcoin recovered a little more overnight than Doge did. And Doge is now below 17.5 cents, while Bitcoin is still above 65K. So we have that. However, if we look at CoinMarketCap, we say, well, over the past 7 days, I mean, yeah, Dogecoin is down a little more than Bitcoin, but it's pretty even with Ethereum, XRP, and performing better than Cardano, Avalanche, Sheeb, Polkadot, Chainlink, Polygon. So it's not, Doge isn't dropping. You don't say, oh, Doge is dropping. So someone in the comments says, well, it doesn't look good because Doge has lost like $2 billion of market cap. And so when I looked at that and I was like, I did the math of where Bitcoin was. And Bitcoin's lost over $100 billion in market cap. So I'm like, I mean, it's not just Doge. So that's where we are in the market right now. It's a pullback, and the pullback is happening on Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. Bitcoin right here on the 31st of March was trading up here at 71,000. It's 71,000. And it just had a huge sell-off on April Fool's Day, dragged the whole market down with it. A lot of selling happening on ETFs. Interesting that ETF holders are already profit taking from January to April. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that weighed the whole crypto market down. And now the market's trying to figure out what it's going to do from here. So that's what we have. So that's the current state of the market. We will get into the things coming in just a minute. Let me drop down here in the corner and let's see what's going on in the chat before we get to the news and the things I'm looking at that's going to cause Doge to go crazy. But we'll get there. Samuels has been looking at my old video. So 2022, we were bear market, but I was here making videos. Some of you were around, not a lot. And when you look back, you say, well, I mean, Dogecoin was hanging, but it was low. And we look back to 2022, and for the most part, the summer of 2022 was bad. Dogecoin had dropped here all the way down, right where my head is, right there, had dropped down to 4.9 cents. 4.9 cents, June of 2022. Recovered a bit up to 8 cents and then settled back down around 6 cents. And that was right into the fall. And then Elon bought Twitter. 1st of November, Dogecoin shot up from 6 cents to 15 cents. So it more than doubled in price. And so what was that? I call that a catalyst, right? That was a catalyst. And the catalyst is what then gets everyone excited and buying. That happened so fast. And then, of course, Doge got shorted back down to 7 cents and eventually settled back down to 6 cents. I mean, this was, a year in the making here from November 22 to November 23. But I was here making videos still with my sights set on the future of Dogecoin. And all of the little hints and the little clues piecing together how Dogecoin was going to be used. And that's why I was confident in Dogecoin and was accumulating Dogecoin in this whole period. Millions of Dogecoin. Yes, I was buying a couple million Dogecoin in this period. It did bring my average up because my average was at 2 cents, and it did bring it up to like 6 cents. And now it's maybe close to 7 cents. I don't know because I've got Dogecoin like all over the place. But that was the confidence I had. And of course, now look what Dogecoin did, right? Breaking out here this year. So compared to where we were through 2022 and 2023, 17-cent Dogecoin is pretty good. But we don't have that big catalyst yet. This is all in anticipation of something big happening. Also, trading well too because of Bitcoin and what's going on with Bitcoin. That obviously brings the market up. But it's going to take that next big move. And what is that going to be? Talk about that in a minute. But what the potential is while I'm here is for, since Dogecoin more than doubled in price back on November 1st, 2022, because of Elon's Twitter move, it could now double again in price. And if it does, what is that price going to be? 35 cents. And that's that next yellow line that I've had on here. I've had that line on here for a year. That's this yellow line up here at 35 cents. That is still my target. Now, that's my first profit-taking target. Where will Dogecoin go from there? Can it go higher? Some people have some thoughts on that. But we'll take a look at that as well during this live stream. For now, we're just trying to stay above 17 cents. Hold on, Doge. Hold on. So we have the Philex Falcon. Welcome. How you doing? When they slap it on a rocket and send it to Mars. That's what Janai says. That would certainly cause it. We got to get to the moon first. And I'll give the latest on where that stands. Buy or sell? No. Hold. And little bits of accumulation. Buying some more on the dips. It's now April. I had my April money and I put it into Dogecoin right there last night. Because the month before, well, I kind of missed the month before. I just did some rotating from out of Aptos and into Arbitrum is what I did in March, because I had spent my March money back in February buying a bunch of Doge at 8.3 cents, if you guys remember. So 35 cents right now is my short-term target. Good morning, Blue Horse. You're up early in Singapore. Enjoy your breakfast. Hope you have a nice coffee. Ryan is just chilling. Decentral Man from Europe. Low Roller says you heard free airdrop if you own Crowcoin. You get free wormhole. Really? I'll have to check that out. That's on the crypto.com app, I imagine. Get some wormhole, huh? Yeah, I'll check that out. Leo, how are you? Buying dips and holding. Me too. That's what I'm doing. Nate is still bullish. Ryan says, I think I might buy more today. Work bonus coming through tomorrow. Well, it's at a better price now than when I bought it last night at 17.1 now. It just touched 17.01 right here. And Bitcoin is not really challenging 65K yet. So Doge is feeling a little bit worse right now, comparatively. Blue Horseshoe also picked some up at 1756. That's okay. Longer term. Longer term. How would I figure out how much my Dogecoin would be worth when it reaches $3 if I bought it with an average price of 10 cents? So all you need to do is multiply the number of Dogecoin by $3. It doesn't matter what you bought it at. Now you have it. Well, that would figure out what your profit is, right? On whatever your average price is or your buy prices would be your calculating profit. But if you just want to know how much all of your Doge is worth, just take your total amount of Doge that you own and multiply it by the price. And if you want to project out to $3, then just multiply it by $3. So if you have 1 million Dogecoin at $3, you've got $3 million. That was a little joke I had in my video earlier today, because there was some stupid article saying, like, how much Dogecoin would you have to become a millionaire if Doge reaches $1? It's just like, $1 million. $1 million. That's all. So Jason's buying more on the dips. He's in the million club. We got a pre-halving dip, Ben says. Yeah, could be. This could turn around and go up into the halving. Bitcoin here, 65.5. So this could be some of that anticipation for the halving. Right now, the halving is 16 days away. So coin market cap is 16 days and 9 hours is what coin market cap is forecasting before that key block, which will then cut the mining rewards in half. So that will be the morning of 420 where I am. Let's see, 9 hours. Yeah. So that'll be about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning here in Boston on the morning of April 20th, which is Doge Day also. That could be an interesting day. We will definitely watch for that. What day of the week is 420? And what is going on that week? 420 is a Saturday. I can be live that day. That's the day I'm coming back from my little vacay. I will be making videos that week, but I come back on the 20th, so I will be live. Absolutely. That's going to be an exciting day. Sure, I'll take that. Doge Father. Oh, yeah, and Ryan says, every single one of my coins are dropping today. Not worried. Goes up, it goes down, deal with it. Yep. Yeah, JJ says the US government owns Bitcoin. Well, they, like from the Silk Road, right? They absconded with a bunch of Bitcoin, and there's all this rumors now about they're moving their Bitcoin onto Coinbase and they're about to sell it all. You know, other people will just buy it up. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Blue Horse invites everyone to smash the likes. Everybody do that. I certainly appreciate the support. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. Then you can be sure to get notified when I go live, because I'm normally live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I do add in some extra lives when things are getting spicy. And I'll definitely have a special Saturday live stream on April 20th. That is going to happen. So, Garrison, how are you? College student, invested a couple thousand at 21 cents, anticipating it would rise. If you were in my position, you would wait this out or get out before it gets worse. So most will say, well, you can buy a little more here at 17 cents. And maybe it drops even a little more, maybe to 69, you know, something like that. And as you buy more, your average goes down. So then you take that 21 cent average and you move it down to like 19 cents and 18 cents. Then when Dogecoin trades back up and gets over 18 cents, then you're in the profit. That's the outlook that most investors have. So, and we've got a long ways to go. We are not at the end of a bull market at all. If you believe in the 4-year cycles, you see where we are in 2024. We still have a ways to go in this bull market 4-year cycle, which should run into and through most of 2025. So this short-term pullback, which is all I see this as, is going to be nothing in the bigger scheme of crypto trading for the next year and a half. So we've got a long ways to go. So look, I mean, a 17-cent Dogecoin, I mean, look at where we were just in February. We were at 8 cents. So we've more than doubled in price just since February. So I'm not worried. I'm definitely not selling. I've told you my first scaling out, right? Laddering out at 35 cents. I'm going to take a slight bit of Doge off the table there. And then we'll be talking about future prices of taking more profits after that. Tavir definitely wants to buy more. You're at 180,000 coins. So you've got it buying all last year. You've got a nice low average. That's good. Jets is saying you like sell and then plan to rebuy. You always have to be careful with that because what if you sell and you're waiting to buy in at a lower price and it doesn't go lower? It just turns around and goes up, and then you don't have any. So always be careful when you start thinking about that game. Well, it's going to go lower, so I'll just sell now, buy in lower. Be careful with that. Christian says, buy more, lower your average. That's what I said. That's the dollar cost average way. Timeverse says, wait it out. So, yep. JD's got 165,000 coins. That's not bad. Chase says, not selling. Not selling. Doge Lux, new era has begun. We're getting there. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Garrison's looking for a 5x. Well, we could do that. That'll be just below $1 from here, right? That'll be about 85 cents. Doge could do that. Doge could do that. Yeah, Tanver, I looked at the past Bitcoin halvings, and Bitcoin certainly did have some pumps leading into halvings, and then shortly thereafter kind of settled down a bit after the halving. So we'll be watching that. We'll definitely be watching that. Jet says, yeah, you can try, but there's risk. It doesn't go much lower. So, yep. You got a lot of people here giving you their ideas. At 35 cents, Doge will pay off the car. At $1, Doge will pay off the house. There you go. But this cycle, I am not an all or nothing guy. $1 or nothing. I'm not waiting for that. I did that last cycle. So what if Dogecoin only goes up to 74, 75 cents again, and that's as high as it goes? And then we're in another bear market and Doge is going down. Then what do? You hold for another 4 years? Just something to think about. Yeah, my chat's a little behind just because I'm catching up. I'm catching up to you guys. The Doge futures was delayed till April 29th. I covered that the other day. I don't know why it was delayed, but it didn't start yet. Robin from Ohio, welcome. I don't know how low it's going to go. Right now, we're just battling the 17-cent line here. The next Fibonacci line, for those that are into Fibonacci's, is the 0.5, which is about 16.5 cents. That's his green line right there. 16.5 cents. That is a line that Doge has challenged before most recently was here on 22nd of March. Doge traded up to 16.5 cents, came down, then traded above it, came back and retested before moving on. So that is, let me mark that for you with a little trend line here. That's right here. It's right there that I'm talking about, 16.5 cents. So that would be the next line on the Fibonacci chart that I've got. And then if that broke, the next line is 15.5, which is this orange line there. So we'll be watching if Doge does go down below 17. Then we'll start looking at 16.5 cents for that. Jets wasn't planning on selling till 6 months or more post-halving. Same here. Not concerned. The fall is when I think there's going to be the big move in the crypto market. We could see a choppy summer. I mean, there's that old saying, right? Sell in May, go away, right? Come back in September. We could see that. Markets don't always go up. James is asking, what is OIN Finance? Is that a new one? Crypto bubbles? OIN. Well, here's ENA. That one just came from out of nowhere into the crypto bubbles. I don't know what level your OIN is. Brett doing big, IOTX, JITO making a move, DGen. DGen's now right to 135, the DGen. And then next we've got Alf, Sin, Popcat, Omi. So I don't know what OIN Finance is. But don't see it in the bubbles. It's not a big coin, I guess. So Jason's going skydiving on 420. Good luck. Good luck. Unidentified thinks 15 for Doge going down. I don't know. It looks like it's turning around right now. I don't think that's going to happen. Noctis just picks some up at 17 cents. Buying the dip. This is the way. It's nice when you get a pullback like this, Charles says, and you're still over 100% in profits. Yep. If you've got anything less than an 8-cent average, how many days until the market turns back around? It could be tonight. I mean, it could be tomorrow. I can't predict the market, but I can just look at trading and I could look at levels and I can see where things may get a little choppy. It's my big purple box up in the 20s and we can't even get back into it now. So we got a ways to wait before we do that kind of trading. Yeah, I think there's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news, Michael, on 420. Yep, I think there is. So we'll see how Bitcoin is trading the week leading into the halving and see whether that's still on the table. Total eclipse is next Monday. I'm in a conference that day. I don't even get to see it. I'm going to be inside. Bummer. But I'm presenting, so I got to be there. I can't give it up. It's one of those things, right? I'm a working man. So I'm trying to catch up, guys. You guys, a lot in the chat. Yep, Jason says Bitcoin usually dips after the halving. It will pull the market down with it, but then it goes to all-time high. That's what the last 3 cycles have shown. So we will see. Tim says now is the time to hunker down and have faith. Doge will be skyrocketing before you know it. Cardano price prediction. Cardano's having a tough time even getting back to $1, but I do have a $2 target for Cardano. I do own some Cardano, and I'm hoping for $2. I'll probably start skimming some profits at $1.50 if Cardano this fall is actually moving up like that, or next spring, whenever that is. Oh, St. Clair. Again, for those that are wondering about selling and trying to play the market to buy in at a lower price, here's another one. Tried to sell and get back in, but missed the whole run. So if you want to play that game, just do it with a percentage of your overall stash. If you've got 50,000 Doge, don't sell all 50,000 to play the market game. Try it with like 10,000 or 20,000 of it. But don't be totally out of the ball game, because you don't know when Dogecoin is going to go crazy. If you sell it all, then you're out of the game. And St. Clair Z here is not the only one that I've heard that from. What happened in 2021. There were many others. Guac bought 10,000 Doge at 6 cents, still waiting for the pullback to 12 to go all in. 2 months left to collect Doge coins before it goes to the moon, targeting $2. So you may want to set some limit orders, but not count on a pullback to 12 cent, because Doge may not go there. So just to consider that. And I don't see Bitcoin dumping that much more, DD. I really don't. I mean, Bitcoin's not even getting this back down to 65K here from the double dip here that we saw. So unless there's some huge giant selling in Bitcoin, but I don't see it right now. If you own Solana coin, you get free airdrop wormhole. I haven't heard that. As long as I don't have to connect my wallet to anything, because I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Or if you want to connect a wallet, create a new one and put a little bit in there, whatever you need for a fee or something. But don't connect your wallet that has all your crypto to some airdrop thing. Just don't do it. The ETH ETF may not happen, JS. There's a lot of talk about what's going on with the SEC, and they went out for like public comment on the ETH ETF applications, and which is something they normally do. So that's not a big deal. But Hester Pierce is certainly, who's a good crypto supporter, one of the SEC commissioners, but she says that there are many within the organization that don't get crypto still or don't want it. And there is concern on the SEC side that when ETH changed from proof of work to proof of stake, that changes its designation from a commodity, because it was previously called a commodity. And that's why Gary Gensler doesn't want to say during like U.S. House Finance Committee, meetings, make a declaration that ETH is a security all of a sudden, because that's not for him to do. But we should see. We should see. Bonk, yeah, I own a little Bonk. And expecting the Sol devs to do something with it again, like they did with their Solana phone last fall, which is why Bonk went crazy. So I bought in on a dip, and we'll see whether that happens again. Christian, sold everything, made a profit. Now you're ready to reload when it gets to 14. Well, for you and for some others that are looking to buy more on a dip, if it does a quick dip down there and comes right back up, I'm okay with that. But I'm not expecting Doge to go down to 14 cents. That's not what I'm seeing on the charts, unless Bitcoin dropped to like 55K or something. So yeah, I don't see that. I love you too, Matus. Don't sell ever. Well, you want to sell sometime, right? Unless you're just buying Doge to use it, and that's all you want to do is use it. We're hoping those opportunities come. Sell your ETH to buy more Doge. Right now, I think Doge will probably outperform ETH. Why don't you consider this? Maybe half of it, maybe 2 of the ETH, 2.5 ETH to Doge, and then keep the other in the ETH game. Then you're in both. So whatever happens, you win. Consider that. Like Blue Horse sold some Cardano, not all the Cardano, but sold some of it at a small profit and then bought more Doge. So that's a good way to do it there. Then you're still in the Cardano game. If Cardano goes crazy next fall or winter or spring, you're in the Cardano game still, but you also picked up some more Doge. So Charles says we are still early. Expected Doge price from the current pullback. We're watching it. But right now, it looks like it's turning around at 17, and it's coming back up right now. So if we get back over 17.5 cents, that's a pretty good sign for me. Nico sold all the bank. And you probably got a nice profit. You can put that into something else. Nothing wrong with that. We don't know what bank is going to do in the future. There's so many memes. I mean, it's crazy how much money are in meme tokens right now. It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Curtis, how are you? What do you know about the U.S. government unloading BTC? Yep. Yeah, I talked about that just a little bit ago. This is the old Silk Road Bitcoin. And I don't know. I don't know if they're going to sell or not. Don't know. There's an article on Robinhood that says Doge is in a 7-year cycle. Well, Doge has never been traded in a 7-year cycle before. So, whatever. If we have a change in the administration this fall, does it guarantee Gensler gets replaced? No, it doesn't guarantee it, but most likely will happen, particularly if it's someone who is pro-crypto, and Trump seems to be more pro-crypto than Biden. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. So, 2 things, general news and catalysts. I promised what would make Dogecoin go crazy. So we'll talk about that first. What is it that's going to make Dogecoin go crazy? So, and what is that craziness? And we've shown this before. So the craziness looks like this. Dogecoin could hit astronomically high price target if it repeats its 2018 to 2021 pattern. So where are we right now? We're in the 2022 to 2025 pattern now, right? 4-year cycles. And we're only in 2024. So we're a little bit accelerated in the pace, just like Bitcoin is. Bitcoin has already hit a new all-time high before the halving and before the 4-year cycle, which would say 2025 is when Bitcoin should hit its all-time high before starting to retrace. So everything's a little accelerated this time. We don't know. So this is Ollie again. And we have Ollie saying, look, my fellow degens have been distracted with the new shiny meme coins. And I say meme tokens because there's a lot of money being made in those tokens, but there's also a lot of money being lost as well because you hit big on one and you go chasing others and you lose out on others. So be careful. You don't know which ones are going to get big. I mean, you don't know. So be careful with that. But Dogecoin remains the most important altcoin in this sector. From a technical perspective, Doge seems to mirror the 2018 to 2021 pattern. If so, Doge could be at the very beginning of a massive parabolic bull run. So Dogecoin was in this descending wedge back in 2018 leading up to 2021 and broke out all the way up to 74 cents. If Dogecoin follows that same pattern, Dogecoin would have a first run up over $1 and then a second run up over $5. That is the kind of FOMO that can happen with Dogecoin. That's what I say, going crazy. Going crazy. Nothing guaranteed in life, but this is what the charts show. This is what could happen. Let's start. Elon Musk. Dogecoin will be used to buy Teslas at some point. So he said that just a couple weeks ago. He was at Giga Berlin. There was a Q&A session, and somebody in the audience asked Elon whether Tesla will accept Dogecoin as payment for cars. And Elon very easily could have just said yes, no, maybe, but he went on this like 2-minute talk about Dogecoin and walking the factory floor and hearing from people working in the factory, both at Tesla and at SpaceX, that they had a lot of Dogecoin supporters in both of those companies. For a while, they were accepting Dogecoin as payment for merch, which was back in January 2022, Tesla merch buyable with Dogecoin. And then later he said, basically going to try it out, see how that works, of which I bought a Tesla cyber whistle. I've got that right here from the Tesla merch store, which was directly from my wallet to Tesla wallet, not through BitPay or any of those other third-party integration things. It was like direct transfer. So that was very cool. That's Dogecoin being used as currency, which is what we're talking about. If Elon comes out and he says, okay, I've turned it on, you can now buy a Tesla car with Dogecoin. Well, I mean, this is what happens. This is what can happen. Dogecoin going crazy. So that would be one thing. Next, X, Twitter, X, AI, Grok hints at Dogecoin payments. Hints at Dogecoin payments. What does this mean? Well, people have been asking Grok, just for the fun of it, like this account, CryptoThesis, can I send or receive Doge on X? And Grok says, yes, you can send and receive Dogecoin on X. X supports Dogecoin transactions and allows you to store, send, and receive Doge using the platform. To send Doge on X open the X app and ensure you have Doge in your X wallet. Click on the send button, enter the recipient's X username and their Dogecoin wallet address, enter the amount of Doge you want to send, confirm the transaction. And to receive Doge on X, you click on the receive button, and you will see your unique Dogecoin wallet address. Share this address with the sender or provide them with your X username, and the sender can then send Doge to your X wallet. So that's one response. There was a second response that I found last week, which was to connect your own personal wallet to the X platform. And the send and receive would go to that, where it wouldn't actually be a wallet on the X platform, but would be one you connect. Grok is all confused here, but Grok is getting this information from somewhere because someone's talking about it and Grok is picking it up. And then there's a third response that Grok has been giving saying, well, right now, X payments isn't active, and that may be something that X will integrate in the future. But it's interesting that Grok has gone through and already identifies like how it will work and what the details are for that. So when X payment starts, if they turn on the ability to do person-to-person payments with Dogecoin directly through the X app, well, Doge will go crazy. Again, Doge will go crazy. Doge landing on X payments. Twitter secures 3 more licenses. This was last week. So we are following how many money transmitter licenses that X is picking up across the United States, because Elon said last year, I will not start X payments until I have all 50 states. And he's about halfway there. Thinks California is coming soon, thinks New York will be the hardest, but thinks by the end of the summer, he's going to have them all. That's pretty cool. That starts X payments, but doesn't necessarily mean Dogecoin is going to be used on X payments yet. It's going to be that wallet integration that's going to come. That's going to be the big one, is when that happens. So we have that. And then Tesla Model Doge says, just today, were you on this app yet when Elon Musk temporarily made Doge the official logo? Remember, a year ago, this was still Twitter, but changed the Twitter bird to be the Doge. And of course, Dogecoin price went crazy. Why would Elon do that? Well, partially because it's fun, but it's just another one of those little hints, just like that St. Patrick's Day photo that had all those Dogecoins sitting on the deck underneath those dogs, right? Just those little things, right? I just don't think that Elon would be doing all of that if there wasn't some end game. There was some plan there. I truly believe that. Some people just think Elon's pulling our legs. I don't know. To me, that's a big deal. Something's coming. And then finally, the Doge 1 mission. People keep asking what's going on. This was from February. SpaceX made the decision to actually charge Geometric Energy an additional fee to postpone their planned integration of the Doge satellite into the rocket that took off in February, because Geometric's partner didn't make the deadline. Geometric then wanted to reschedule. SpaceX said that will be a fee to reschedule. And oh, by the way, when you reschedule and pay that fee, you need to pay it in Dogecoin, which Geometric did. They actually made the payment to SpaceX with Dogecoin. So SpaceX has agreed to accept Dogecoin as payment for the rescheduling of the highly anticipated Doge 1 mission to the moon. We don't yet have a date when this is going to happen. Most likely it is going to be, well, they had IM-1. IM-1 was the first one that went to the moon. Unfortunately, it landed funny or fell, something happened. It ended up on its side. So at Geometric, they got to work on that and make sure that they have a more robust lunar lander for IM-2 so it lands on the moon better. Something there, which they're working on. Now, can they have something by the end of this year? We hope so. That would be awesome. And if the satellite is done and is on the flight that goes to the moon, then it'll be a satellite that'll be going around the moon, paid for all in Dogecoin. That's the Doge 1 mission. I would personally also like to see IM-2 actually have a Dogecoin on it so we could have the literal Dogecoin on the literal moon. But that's another story. Haven't heard anything about that. But that'll be a big news event for Dogecoin. The delay, like people don't like the delay though. But at that time, when all of this happened, Dogecoin was only 8 cents. And here it's 17.44, trying to get back up over 17 and a half. So whoever it was there that bought at 17, that's looking like a juicy price right there on that dip. That's a nice pickup right there, 17 cents. Hey, I feel good about my 17.5. That was my target. That was my number. I had the limit order set. It hit. So last night, I got about 50,000 more Dogecoin. That was what my limit order was. 50,000 Doge. Added to my stash. And it looks like I'm just about back even with the price of Dogecoin coming back up on that. Not worried. Again, I'm in it for the longer haul. That 50,000 Doge is going to be with me for a long time. I'm not going to sell that 50,000 Doge. First in, first out. I still have to sell my 2-cent Dogecoin. That's 500,000 Dogecoin. I bought it 2 cents over 3 years ago. So when I finally sell it, that is a long-term capital gains tax. So I have the lower tax on it. And that's my profit. I want to take profit on that at least, because I did not take profit in 2021 on that, but I will this cycle. And 35 cents is my target for that. I will still have over 2 million Dogecoin to carry on. So we'll see how that goes. But that's my plan. I don't know what your plan is. That's my plan. I'm waiting for that. What else is going on? We did the price targets. Dogecoin accumulation draws to an end. Why Doge price can reach $1. So another one targeting a run up to $1. Parabolic move coming up. That's what a lot of people are talking about. We had that accumulation period right up through February when you could still buy 8-cent Dogecoin. Now, reaccumulating, but at a higher price. That's how it works, right? So now we're at a higher price at 17 cents. Are you accumulating here? Or do you think the price is too high? You missed out on the 8-cent Doge. I'm still buying. And I know some of you are still buying. I see it in the chat. Because we think Doge is even going higher from here. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep like a bank account full of dollars, right? And what do these dollars do in your bank account? They deflate away, right? Inflation continues and your dollar buys you less and less. But if you buy Dogecoin at 17.5 cents, and then Doge goes up to 35 cents, you've doubled. You've doubled your money. That's better than just keeping cash, in my opinion. So I bought 50,000 Dogecoin last night at 17.5 cents because I believe Dogecoin is going up. No, Jason, you still have to pay capital gains tax if you spend your Dogecoin. Sorry. It's the same thing as a sale. If you spend it, it's the same thing as a sale. You have to pay the tax on the profit. Unfortunately, that's how it works. Dogecoin is not a real currency yet in the eyes of the US government. You'll still have sales tax on whatever it is you buy. So let's say you want to buy a Tesla car, right? And it's $40,000. And the tax on the $40,000 is whatever it is in your state, right? It'll be some sales tax. There's some states that don't have sales tax, like New Hampshire, right above here, where I am in Massachusetts. New Hampshire doesn't have a sales tax. But if I bought it in Massachusetts, there'd be a sales tax on top of the 40K. And then I would use Dogecoin to buy that car. But I would have to calculate for myself on my own. I mean, it doesn't get taken out right away, right? It'll be summed up for the calendar year in order for you to pay taxes on the profit on that Doge the following April. So that's the disadvantage. The advantage is, though, not only was that Dogecoin that you spent, you didn't pay that, you didn't buy it for that, right? I mean, if Dogecoin is at 35 cents and you bought it at 17.5, right? Then you only paid half. You didn't pay $40,000 of your actual money for that Tesla car. You only paid $20,000 of your actual money because Doge doubled in price. But that $20,000 gain, you're going to have to pay the tax on that profit as a capital gains tax as well, but not until the following year. That's how it works, unfortunately, right now. Is Doge a commodity? Not officially yet. We all kind of think it kind of is because the CFTC is beginning futures trading or allowing Coinbase to begin futures trading. And that's the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. So that, to me, says Doge is a commodity then. Yes. And that's why I think Litecoin went on a crazy run last week, was because it started its futures trading. And Litecoin is a commodity now, just by that happening. So I think the same thing's happening with Doge. Bitcoin plummets. If you call that plummets, no, it didn't. It went down in price, but it didn't plummet. Dogecoin tumbles and crypto sell-off. Yeah, that's kind of how the markets move, right? You get a bunch of selling of Bitcoin, which happened yesterday, and apparently, into today, there's going to be a sell-off and the other cryptos are going to follow. That's just how it works. So I don't think this is Doge on itself selling, but what happens is Dogecoin whales, holders, traders see the price of Bitcoin going down and they sell their Doge. And then they buy in at a lower price of whatever they're trading with. And that happens across the crypto market. That's just the way crypto trades. And as we were just watching here, as Dogecoin is now back over 17.5 cents, last night, Dogecoin dropped to 17.5. Bitcoin dropped to 65K. But today, Dogecoin has dropped below 17.5 cents, is now recovering, but Bitcoin didn't even go back down and retest 65K. So today, there was a little more selling of Dogecoin than Bitcoin today. some weak hands, some people saying, oh, Doge is going to drop to 12 cents or 10 cents. I'm going to sell now and I'm going to buy back in at a lower price. Like some of you guys have been saying, right? It's going to drop lower. I'm going to sell. So there was a lot more of that happening on the Dogecoin side today than the Bitcoin side. That's what I see on the charts here. That's what I take that to mean. There's no other reason to sell your Dogecoin. There's no negative news going on about Dogecoin. So it's just traders and some of you degens out there who think that you're smarter than the market and Dogecoin is going to go down to 15, 14 cents and you're going to buy back in. Well, that's not happening right now. Doesn't mean it won't, but it's not happening right now. Federal Reserve doubles down on bullish outlook for the U.S. economy. So a number of the Fed commissioners have been talking about the strength of the U.S. economy, but now their outlook is that they see that strength continuing and they don't want to mess it up by lowering interest rates too soon. Some people read that as being negative because they want the lower interest rates sooner. And we're probably going to test this next month, the next time the FOMC meets and they don't lower interest rates and the markets are going to drop because people think that interest rates should be lowered. But if you really listen to what they said, it kind of makes sense to me. It's just like the economy's doing okay. Let's just not mess it up, Let's not mess it up. The Fed's still printing money. So inflation is still going on. But I don't think we're going to be seeing interest rates go down anytime soon. I was forecasting June. When March came and went and everybody's all upset that they didn't lower it in March. And then May is the next one. And I was forecasting June, but now it may not even be June. But the U.S. economy is strong. Meme coins skyrocket with record-breaking Q1. A lot of degens out there just chasing all these memes, and some are hitting it big and some aren't. So congratulations to you that got in on some of them that went on big runs. Just be careful out there. That's all I say. Just be careful out there. Are you too late for crypto? So we do have some newcomers coming into the space now. And some of you are here, just bought some crypto. Your first crypto might be Dogecoin. Congratulations. But what does that mean? Some of you see the prior prices and just say, damn, I missed out on that 5-cent Dogecoin or 6-cent Dogecoin. Now buying at 17, it seems like it's too high. I say, well, where do you think prices are going to go? If we look at the 4-year cycles, and again, I bring this up again and again, time and time again in 4-year cycles, prices have appreciated. They all keep going up. Bitcoin has always gone up. At the end of 2017, Bitcoin hit $20,000. In 2021, its all-time high was $69,000. In 2024, we've already seen Bitcoin go up over 70,000, and many are predicting 100,000, 200,000, or even more for between 2024 and 2025. Again, following this 4-year cycle. 2025 would be the year we would see the all-time high for this cycle if these 4-year cycles continue. So buying Bitcoin at $70,000 or buying Dogecoin at 17 cents doesn't seem so bad compared to what else are you going to do with that money, right? There's always a risk, yes. Crypto could go down. There's a risk there. And we see a little dip happening and we see people starting to panic and get a little worried. But if you're a believer of the 4-year cycle like I am, and you look at what's happening, again, we're in an election year in the United States, money printing by the Fed. The White House does not want to see negative economy going on, rolling into the election. Most likely, there could be a change in the administration, which is generally good for the markets. So all that is pointing to like Bitcoin going up higher. Same with Doge going up higher. So do you think that you missed out on the low price? Or are you at a point now where you're thinking about whether you're going to buy crypto or buy more crypto, and you compare it to the dollar and you're like, my dollar is not going to be worth much in the future, where Dogecoin could be worth a lot more in the future. Now, you could just go and buy some stock, right? Boring. For the most part, every once in a while, there's a cool stock that goes on a run. And if you're in it, great. Like NVIDIA this year, fantastic. But for the most part, the stock market's not going to give you the potential returns that you could get in cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, and including Bitcoin even today, at $66,000. Better returns than the stock market. Better returns on the stock market. So last night, when I'm seeing Dogecoin drop here to 17.5 cents, and I've got my April money ready to spend, I'm like, I'm buying Dogecoin. And that's what I did. So I back up what I say by what I do. And I bought more Dogecoin because that money sitting in my bank account isn't going to do me anything but just deflate. Where Dogecoin has the potential, like I said, to double in price. And it takes that, $8,800 or whatever I spent, and it doubles it. And that can happen all in this year. You're not going to see that in the stock market for the most part, unless you're in the lucky stock that might go crazy. But you're definitely not going to see it in your bank account that's giving you some measly less than a penny or less than 1% interest. Yeah, you can go to like Robinhood and you can have your cash sitting in Robinhood, right? And what are you going to get for that? Well, if you have Robinhood Gold, you can get 5%. Woohoo, 5%. Woo! No, I'm talking about 100% for Dogecoin. 100% is a lot better than 5. 5 safe. Yep, that's safe. 5%. Okay, nice return. That's not good enough for me at this point in my life. I'm not waiting for that. So I bought Dogecoin. That's what I did. Yeah, as Jason says, your dollar has deflated away. Inflation has gone rampant, and some things even more than half, or less than half, in the way you put it there, like college tuition. I mean, it's incredible what college tuition has done over those last 5 years. So you have to pay tax on the interest that you get in that account. That's taxable. But you're not making much. And if you at least hold your crypto for a year before you sell it, then that long-term capital gains tax, a lot better than short-term. But if you guys want to just trade, then you pay the higher short-term capital gains on all your profits. That's 15 to 20% more that you're spending on that tax, which is why now I'm in the buy and hold, because when I start selling all this big crypto that I've been accumulating for the past 1.5 to 2 years, all through the bear market, I'm waiting at least a year from when I bought it to when I sell it. That's what I'm doing. So are you too late for crypto? I say no, not too late. We don't know where this whole thing is going. We don't know what's going to happen with blockchain technology. I mean, these companies could become huge in the future, depending on how all this gets sorted out. It's worth having an investment in it and letting it ride and see what happens. Absolutely. But that's my opinion. And I just tell you guys what I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor. Some warnings, KuCoin, their market share is now half of what it used to be a week ago. So if you guys are trading on KuCoin, be careful. A lot of people are already selling out and transferring. So you can sell the tether and then you can transfer your tether off, or you can just take out fiat, however you do it. Particularly with a market that it now no longer has the same kind of liquidity in its trading that it used to have. Especially if you have large amounts on there, it'll get harder to trade, harder to sell. So be careful with KuCoin. I mean, this is a DOJ indictment, CFTC charges, but they're bad enough to cause at least half of the market to go away. So people are leaving. So just a reminder, be careful with that. And with that, that's the rest of my news, and we can continue with Q&A. I know I missed a lot in the chat. So if you had a good question, go ahead and ask it again, because I was catching up on all of the news. Denise asks, with this dip, how many Doge holders are in the green? Let's see what the app says for Doge in the green now. 80%. So it's gone down a little bit. Doge is at 80% there, Denise. Still pretty good. Much better than Cardano, which is only 48. A lot of heavy bags in Cardano land. That's for sure. A lot of heavy bags. SHIB is at 62. So Doge is much better than SHIB. A lot of heavy SHIB bags out there as well. How much tax if you sell your crypto after more than a year? It depends on where you live. States are different. If you're in the United States, you'll pay a federal tax, which would be a fixed amount of some percentage. And then your state tax will vary. Well, actually, that fixed percentage may change depending on what your adjusted gross income is. So it all factors in on your overall tax liability. If you've got a really high adjusted gross income, then you're paying the max amount of whatever that level is for long-term capital gains. And I don't know off the top of my head what that percentage is. But then you add to it a percentage that you pay for your state tax. And you could be between 15 and 18% long-term capital gains. It's somewhere in that range. If you sell for less than a year, depending on your state, you could be paying anywhere from 30 to 35%. And so that's like a 15, 20% difference or additional tax you have to pay for short-term versus long-term. And if you're dealing with big wallets with lots of coins, that's big money. That's serious money. And that's why I'm waiting. And I'm not playing any games now of swing trading or anything like that. I'm waiting. So, yeah. Will Doge do a double bottom? Well, it just hit 17 cents, so we'll see. Could Doge come down and retest 17 cents now? Could. I mean, Bitcoin's back up over 66,000 now. So if Bitcoin leading the way continues to go up, then Doge will keep going up too. And we may not retest 17. Again, Bitcoin did not retest 65K from last night. So this is a Doge thing at 17 cents just earlier during the stream that we just hit. We could just level out above 17.5 too. So we're watching that. Leave the US, don't pay taxes. If you bought crypto in the US and you're a US citizen, and then you leave the United States, they'll come find you. You're still due that tax on crypto, even if you sell it in a different country or as a resident in a different country. You will still owe the United States the tax on that profit. Will they find you? I'm not getting into that. That's for you to risk if you're going to do that, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to look at that. No. Hey, Nate, how are you? Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it, sir. Do you foresee this 4-year cycle being the last of its kind? Once Doge is more widely accepted, will it move in price similarly to previous cycles? Great question. And there's a big question about Bitcoin as well. Will Bitcoin trade like it has in the past? There are many who think because of how popular these Bitcoin spot ETFs have been, that we may not see a huge bear market in Bitcoin. Bitcoin went from 69K all the way down to 15.6, right? So that's over a 75% drop in the price of Bitcoin. And that's mostly retail traders. But now we've got these big institutions, the ETFs, and MicroStrategy has added so much more this cycle. And we've got others. We don't know who the so-called Mr. 100 who kept buying like 100 Bitcoin again and again and again, like every day. We don't know if that's an institution or just a wealthy individual, but most likely they're not selling. So you're getting a much higher percentage of the Bitcoin total supply in the hands of people who aren't retail traders that probably aren't going to be selling in 2026. So there's an argument to say that Bitcoin could have a super cycle, or the bear market in 2026 won't be anywhere near as severe as what we saw in 2022. And then on top of that, we may not see so many black swan events like we saw with 3 Arrows Capital's. Well, it started with Luna, right? Luna, 3 Arrows Capital, Voyager, Celsius, and FTX. Those 5, the ripple effects throughout crypto in 2022 with those 5 was huge. Do we have any of those big things happening now or in the near future? Maybe not. So what does this have to do with Dogecoin? First, for the most part, Dogecoin trades together with Bitcoin. Outside of other influences, most cryptos follow what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin doubles in price from 66 to 125, Dogecoin most likely would double from 17.5 to 35, be 35 cents, just following the Bitcoin trading, right? Irregardless of anything else. Most likely that's what would happen. If Bitcoin stays up at 120K a Bitcoin, then Doge would probably stay around 35 cents. Again, outside of any other things happening. And if Bitcoin stays up there, Doge will probably stay up there too. And we may not see a big bear market. So that could happen. And the 4-year cycles will change. Most of that is on the backs of Bitcoin and the percentage of institutions and these ETF holders that are accumulating Bitcoin that way. And these are mostly the wealthy people who have, BlackRock as their financial advisor or Fidelity, and they just say, get me some of that Bitcoin in an ETF because I don't want to go through with signing up for an exchange and transferring money and buying it myself. I just want you to do it for me, right? And we've seen the inflows of Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin BlackRock and Fidelity have had to buy to support all of that ETF going on. Now we had the whole GBTC thing and the selling of that going on at the same time as well. Yep. Most people think that GPT selling is going to slow down now. Hasn't yet. Every once in a while, there's another big selling day. We'll see how that goes. I give hopes looking for 1375 to buy back in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Roth IRA and an LLC to avoid taxes. There's not much you can buy with a Roth IRA in the crypto space. You can't buy Dogecoin with a Roth IRA. Not available. Cash account, no margin call, short selling, old game. And that goes on with any financial market. That's always going to be happening. You're going to get the short sellers. You're going to get the leveraged longs. That's the battle, right? Just going on and on and on. Like I say, at this point, I'm not chasing the market. I'm accumulating, continue to accumulate for a long-term gain, and then I will sell at appropriate levels to take my profits because I still think there's going to be a bear market in 26. Just going on those 4-year cycles. Plus, I want to buy some more real estate and do that. So there's an opportunity next year that I'm going to follow that. Just in case there is a big bear market in 2026, I'm not sitting here holding all of my crypto again through another bear market. I'm a little older than you guys, so you guys can probably live out more of these cycles, and maybe the cycles become less and less and the gains still continue to accumulate. You're sitting in a great spot. Me, I got in a little later in my life, got into this game, and I'm going to enjoy it. But that's just me. Any word on the Doge lawsuit? I have not heard anything about that. I knew Elon's attorneys were trying to get thrown out, but I haven't heard. I'll look for that. The heck with Roth IRA. Cash it out and put it into Doge. Doge is going to outperform whatever you've got your Roth IRA invested in. That's for sure. You're up 250% from a year ago. Nothing in Roth IRA is 250%. Except, like I said, maybe NVIDIA if you caught it at the right time. Even Tesla's pulling back. Apple. The big Apple gains were like 5 to 10 years ago. Not happening now. So, will Doge ever get past 25 cents? Eric asks. So, Yeah, you guys are wondering about my purple box. What the heck's happening to Kriss's purple box? So, monthly chart, big picture on Doge right here. So again, this is what we're looking at. And this is a monthly, so this is going back to 2021 and the big run up that Doge had all the way up to 74 cents. But there were 5 months in a row here, from July of 21 through November of 21, where Dogecoin traded in this range here. And this range is between, on the low side, about 20.5 cents, and on the high, up to 28 cents. So that 5 months of trading right there. And Mr. Tom Crown says that 5 years of trading leads him to believe that once Doge gets back up into this range, there's going to be a lot of choppy trading. It's going to be going on because of the liquidity that's all in this range from 2021 at that level. So that's his thesis, and that's why I made the purple box. So that would be higher than 25 cents and would actually get up to the height of 28 cents. That seems to be a pretty strong resistance line there at 28 cents on the monthly chart. Now, some could argue that, well, in the month of August, it actually traded up to 35 cents. That's my yellow line, right? I'm looking at that 35-cent line, but I'm also looking at this fib chart here, and the fib says, well, the 1.618, yeah, look at that. It's right around 25, 26 cents. And then the 2.618 is getting up close to 35 cents. It's like 34 point something. So the fib lines do back up those levels as well. Again, 35 cents is my target for my first layering out, whatever you want to call it, of taking some profit in Dogecoin. And that's based on this chart. We don't know how high Dogecoin is going to go this cycle. Now, if any of those big catalysts happen, the ones I just pointed out a little bit ago, Dogecoin has the potential to not only go over 35 cents, shoot up past its previous all-time high, go up to $1 and even higher. The potential is all there. It just depends on just how big the catalyst is. What we saw back here in 2021, that was all hype. That was all hype. Dogecoin has had some good gains, up 250% on hype. It needs the use case, in my opinion, the real use to get back up to these levels and to trade like it did before. Because I think that's what investors will be looking for now. There will be some, yes, there'll be some great movement as well in some of the hype, some of the FOMO, especially when the news gets out there again into the world about Dogecoin, and you get a bunch of other new investors coming in, like signing up for Robinhood, buying Doge as their first crypto, like a lot of you guys did. That's going to happen again. Truly believe it. And we're not there yet. This is all, for the most part, still within our crypto bubble. Is Dogecoin trading up to 17.5 cents? That's all here, right? That isn't a lot of new people coming in from the outside. A few of you, but not enough to really make it move like we saw back in April of 2021. That was crazy. And a lot of that was, Elon Musk was going to appear on Saturday Night Live. There was a lot of hype about that. But we saw what happened. Bear market came, and it was brutal for Doge. That was tough. But we lived through it, and now we're coming out. We're coming out. Right? The news ain't talking about crypto yet, Jason says. Denise, Louis, my nephew's HOA monthly fee is more than my mortgage payment back in the day. Glad the house is paid off. Couldn't afford it now. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for because I'm close to my retirement. And I'd like to live large in my retirement. And I'm not going to want a stupid bank mortgage to pay. No way. I don't want that. I want to have a nice house, free and clear. That's my goal for 2025. Nice house, free and clear. Don't want to be paying a bank mortgage, especially at the rates now. 7% plus mortgage? No way. And then continue to enjoy crypto profits and using Dogecoin to buy things. All of that. That's my goal. That's my goal. Do it for family. Welcome. All is well. Doing good. Still enjoying Sam Adams, Boston Lager. So I got a case of it now, thanks to the voice of reason and the big super chat from last week. That he set me up nice. So now every live stream, I'm drinking Sam. What's up with Radio Doge? I don't know. I know there's the devs are still working on it. The idea of Radio Doge is partnered with Starlink. It will be able to help people who don't have regular internet access to be able to buy and sell Dogecoin. Have a Dogecoin wallet without having internet. That's pretty cool. This is all, again, building for the future. And the future, like the takeover of Dogecoin in the future. It could all happen. And that would be huge. Ralph, we talked about Doge 1 a little bit ago. A mission launched, but it was not Doge 1 because the Doge 1 satellite wasn't done yet. The group in the UK that was making it didn't meet their deadline. So Geometric had to pay SpaceX a bunch of Dogecoin in order to reschedule that mission, and we don't have a date on it yet. Yeah, Louis, we talked about Fed cut rates a little bit ago too. You guys got to get here at 5 o'clock. I cover all this stuff. Yes, later this year, but not this summer. It's looking like not this summer. May, no, most likely not June anymore either. But we'll see. We'll see. Is what's still not the same case. I got off topic, Brian. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking. 3 months ago, Doge was under 7 cents. You can't be mad. That's right. Can't be mad. Can't seem to hold 17.5 though. Just not quite holding it. So got a little battle going on. Coinbase launching Doge. The only thing Coinbase is working on is the futures trading. And I think they're targeting April 29th for futures trading. So, well, Dark Clouds, you've got to answer that. Is Doge going up again? I think so, which is why I just bought some more yesterday. If I didn't think Doge was going up again, I wouldn't have bought any yesterday, right? So, again, I not only talk to you guys about what's in the news and what's going on the charts and updates and all this stuff, but I also tell you what I'm buying and when I'm buying. And I also put it into my X Twitter last night. 17.5-cent Dogecoin order filled, buying the dips. And so I let you guys know what I'm doing. That's what I got. We also have Crypto March Madness going on. We're right near the end. We have our second semifinal match going on, Bitcoin against Solana. Bitcoin is about 73% to Solana's 26%. This match ends at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, my time. So there's still time to vote. So go on to X Twitter, find me at ChrissPax, and place your vote. Solana versus Bitcoin. Dogecoin beat Litecoin yesterday. It was like about 66% to 33%, something like that. So got 2/3 of the votes. I mean, Litecoin has been going on a big run. So Dogecoin had a tough battle with Litecoin, but Dogecoin won and has moved into the final. And now it's Solana versus Bitcoin. And then tomorrow, starting at noon on Thursday, we will have the final match, Dogecoin against either Bitcoin or Solana, to win the Crypto 2024 March Madness. It was fun. It was fun this year. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And we'll talk about it Friday night. Oh, is this the same case of... Yes, I got a case. Still working on it. That's what the SAM is. Glad you discovered me. We're having fun. You can go onto my YouTube channel and you can see all the videos that I've been making all through the bear market, all the way down, and just keep scrolling down and you'll see all through the bear market. About 80 to 90% are all Dogecoin. I covered a few other things along the way, but a lot of videos. Samuels went back and was watching a lot of these old videos. But I've been here. Not going anywhere. No, Snowman, it's not trading because there's no more liquidity. Nobody else put any liquidity in there. So it's pretty much dead. I mean, it's still there and there's a contract, and if somebody wanted to put a bunch of liquidity in there and get it trading again, they could. But I'm out. Hello, Rowan from the Netherlands. Good evening to you. How you doing? Is the bull run over? Oh. Well, so the 4-year cycles will say, no, this is just a pullback. And it's a pullback like we've had every other cycle. The year before the all-time high, the year of the halving, always has pullbacks. Look at 2020's big pullback, right? That would be 4 years ago. We can go and we can say, look, let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go on to the monthly and let's look back. And you'll see it doesn't always go up. So yeah, I probably need to look at weekly. Those monthly candles are really big, but we can go back to big pullbacks like this one right here. So this was March of 2020. Bitcoin went from 10,000 all the way down to 5,000. That was a big drop. Now we know why that dropped, but that's still, that kind of pullback can happen. I mean, here's one here later on where it went from 12,500 all the way down to 9,500. That's a big drop right there. That is, over 20% there in a week. And then you can just continue on and look at, all of the other, even on the way up, you still have pullbacks. That was a 30% pullback there. End of December into January of 2021, a 30% pullback. And this is in a bear market or in a bull market, you still have these pullbacks. So what I say, Bud, do is we're in one of these pullbacks, but we're early. I think we're early in the bull and we're having a pullback. How much is the pullback right now? Well, if we look at Bitcoin from its new all-time high down to where it is now, it's about 12%. 12. And I just showed you one that was 30%, more than double what this pullback was. So I know it's hard. We're right in the middle of it, right? But prices don't always just go up. There are pullbacks. And I think this is a pullback. We've got the Bitcoin halving coming up, which is this blue line right here. Usually a big event for Bitcoin. Like Adam says, dips and pullbacks are normal. You ignore, you be patient, and many find these opportunities to buy the dips. For me, I call this a dip, I buy. We don't know where this is going to go from here. Many are predicting, though, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a Bitcoin this cycle. So we're early in the bull run. This is going to go much higher, and this is just a pullback, 10, 12%. It's not as much as Bitcoin has seen before. And what's Dogecoin's pullback here? It's about 20%. It's a 20% pullback from its most recent high up at 22 cents to where it is now. So versus Bitcoin's 12%, Doge has dropped 20. But look what Doge did, the few weeks before, went on this huge run. So that pullback, almost expected. Almost expected to do that after this big run it went on. Snowman says, everyone wants to see $1. Once we hit that mark, is everyone just going to sell? Will Doge drop back to 5 cents and die forever? What's the future for it after $1? Depends on what it's being used for. If Doge is being used on the X platform for peer-to-peer payments, you're not going to see Doge at 5 cents. No, it's not going to drop like that. Because you're just going to have more and more people using Dogecoin and more people being exposed to Dogecoin where it's just not going to drop. Trading up, like Brian says here, trading up is going to be a challenge at certain key levels. Its previous all-time high at 74 cents, there's going to be selling. Just like we saw when Bitcoin was trying to get back above 69K. It made it to like 68.8 and it dropped, right? It couldn't make it. So you'll see the 73 cent Dogecoin price and people will be selling. And then the same way, once it gets into the 90s, people can be saying, well, I'm not going to wait for it to be $1. I'm going to sell at 98 cents or 95 cents. And you're going to have a bunch of selling. It's going to be hard for Dogecoin to reach $1. It's going to be really hard. Can it happen? Sure. Sure, it can happen. $50? Yeah, I don't think so. That's a little bit much. $50 is, that's outside of the current range. Could it happen in the future? Sure. Maybe the next cycle. Doge is up there. Once Dogecoin goes over to $1 and stays over $1, then we can start talking about $5 or $10. But 40, not yet. Let's see what happens. So, well, Elon could do tipping, but could also do these what they call peer-to-peer payments. Like I want to send you Dogecoin. You can do it theoretically right on the X app without having to do anything else. I don't need to know your address. I can just send it to your X username. And you'll have a wallet that's connected to your X username. And I can say, I'm going to send Louis, 150 Dogecoin for whatever reason, and you can just do it right within the X app. That's called a peer-to-peer payment. Now, it could be tips as well. I can send you 6.9 Doge, right, as a tip. You'd be able to do that too. But you could also start executing bigger payments, not just tips, for whatever. So yeah, that'll be huge for Doge. And it'll be right within the app. You don't have to do anything else. I don't have to see your wallet or a QR code or anything. It'll just be right within Doge. If this actually plays out like that. So So is $5, Ryan? Possible, but not probable. I agree. So you're going to have to, Tam, you're going to have to, when the stream is done, just rewatch it. It was about 1/3 of the way in. I went through what the catalysts were. That's what this whole stream was about. And I went through all of that. So you'll have to rewatch because we're just about done here. Okay? I know all the QR codes gets crazy, right? But it works. I mean, if you saw the video of all those Doge lovers at the Williamsburg Pizza down in New York City, you open your MyDoge app and you point the camera to the QR code that's on the screen. That's your transaction. Wallet to wallet, pay for pizza with Dogecoin. And not only that, but they give you a 25% discount on your pizza if you pay with Doge. How about that? So not only are you using Dogecoin, most likely that you bought at a lower price, but then they're giving you 25% off the price of pizza if you use Dogecoin, because they are probably accumulating Dogecoin because they know the price is going to go up. So it's a win-win for them. 25% off for a pizza? Sure. I know where the price of Dogecoin's going, and it's up. How about that? That's a pretty good deal. If you don't know what you're talking about, you can, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my X account at ChrissPax and just scroll down, and I retweeted the video from Randy. They're making a Dogecoin transaction for pizza. And it was 25% off to use Doge. So that's pretty cool. And there she is. Just there's the QR code, zaps it with her MyDoge wallet. Price comes up, payment, done. Just like that. That's how easy it is to use Dogecoin. So check that out on my X Twitter account. I have a MyDoge app. I've got my MyDoge app address, my Doge wallet address in my profile right there. That lets people know that I can accept Dogecoin tips right on the X app right now. But eventually, there's going to be some what I think is going to be an X payments, menu here, where you click on that, and that's where you can embed your crypto wallet right within X payments. And that would then be what this is, of using a send button or a receive button right within X payments with your crypto wallet attached. That'd just be so easy. So easy. Meanwhile, we've been talking, Dogecoin is moving up. Moving up. That's all looking good. So that's what we got. Look, Dogecoin can go crazy in price. We've talked about levels. We've talked about, we've seen in the past how Dogecoin has traded. We see it in the future, what could happen. We've looked at the 4-year charts. We looked at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's trading in the past, the pullbacks Bitcoin has had, and the pullback we're seeing now doesn't look so bad. I know just in the short term, just looking right now, Dogecoin was just at 21 cents. Now it's set in the 17s. But again, it's a pullback. So it's not going to 10 cents, Ruslan. No. There's nothing that says Dogecoin is going to drop that low unless there's some huge black swan event, right? That's going to cause Bitcoin to crash from 66K, maybe down to 40K or something like that. Then Doge might see 10 cents if there's something huge like that, which could happen. I mean, we had Luna, right? Remember Luna? Yeah, that was bad. But I don't see any of that happening. Not right now. So that's what we got for today. Look, I'll be live again on Friday. So come back, join then. I'll probably have a video tomorrow, just on the news, whatever's been going on. And hope you all have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.